All right, you know it's almost Thanksgiving, but we're gonna be looking at the 10 worst dishes. But make sure to like and subscribe so I can do more videos. And yeah, let's get straight into this. All right, let's see this.
There's more to a Thanksgiving meal than just turkey, so let's round up the top 10 worst Thanksgiving dinner dishes. Cranberry sauce.
Nah, cranberry ain't that bad. Like, I don't know why niggas are hating on cranberry. Like, cranberry could go with anything. Like, it could go with turkey. Like, it could go with collard greens. Like, it could go with rice. Like, if you're African, like, for real. Like, niggas just hating on it.
Cranberry
What?
is such an unassuming fruit. The rich color and delicate size and structure of the fruit lulls you into a false sense of sweet decadence. The reality is far less appealing. The cranberry is tough, chewy, and overall pretty brutal on the taste buds. The cranberry has always seemed like an odd addition to the holiday table.
Pretty
The fruit is
underrated,
incredibly
real.
sour even after adding buckets of sugar. The taste always completely overtakes just about everything it touches, making it a bizarre option to have as a side dish to the more subtle flavor of a perfectly basted and baked turkey. And forget about using it in a dessert. However, year after year, it continues to make an appearance on dining tables far and wide. But what is it, and what makes the weird red relish so unpleasant? The best answer
Alright,
is
let's go to
this
the next one.
Thanksgiving how
What's the next
much
one?
people dislike it. Turnip. This
I
Thanksgiving
never had
sign
turnip before, so I don't know.
takes us on a journey into the turnip gator. The creamed corn.
Creamed. Yo, that gotta be yo. Like, niggas creamed their corn. Like, I like the
First addition.
canned corn, but cream corn is kind of crazy.
To the Thanksgiving dinner spread. Creamed corn. There are lots of corn advocates out there, but we're not talking about the fan favorite corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob bust. Like, that's the best corn. Like, for real. Like, canned corn is a little bit mid, but cream corn, like, hell no.
We're talking about creamed corn,
I gotta go. Like, that goes in the trash can.
also known as cream-style sweet corn, or simply soup corn. The name really says it all. Creamed corn is a soup-like milky mess that usually comes in a can for ease
That
of
shit nasty. That look like mac and cheese. Like, who's eating this?
use. Interestingly,
Hell
when
no.
made from scratch, it can get surprisingly complex. The corn needs to be husked and shucked before all the individual kernels are sliced off and removed from the cob.
Like, you're doing too much.
Chucked
Like, leave the
before-
corn on the cob. Like, you're weird. Like, this nigga's weird. Like, why is you cutting the corn? Like,
Before all the
niggas really do this? Like, ain't no way.
individual kernels are sliced off and removed from the cob. The kernels themselves are then painstakingly sliced halfway through using a sharp knife. This step is said to release the corn juice from the kernels, which is what makes up the creamed portion of the dish. You heard that right. The original creamed corn contained absolutely no cream or milk or dairy byproducts at all. The corn juice was
That
either
shit look like nothing.
no cream or milk or dairy byproducts at all. The corn juice was either repurposed because it looked a bit milky, or the milk from the mushy white of the cob was saved, stored, and used as a base. Today, the canned version that is most often seen on Thanksgiving tables contains tapioca starch as its thickening agent. And nothing says Thanksgiving like tapioca starch. Ambrosia salad.
Never had this before. Some watching this shit.
Sickly sweet and there's no doubting the importance of rounding out a meal with the appropriate number of greens, especially
Yeah, veggies are actually, like, underrated. Like, for real.
when
Like,
balancing out a heavy
veggies are definitely underrated. Like,
Thanksgiving meal.
what's it called?
However,
Lettuce, tomatoes, like,
nothing seems to spell dread as
Grapes,
guests
like-
start to gather at the dinner table like a tray of rock-hard,
Carrots, like, come
tasteless
on.
raw veggies. Perhaps because on a day of Thanksgiving indulgence, gnawing through a carrot or a giant celery stalk just doesn't seem to go with the savory theme of the day. In fact,
oh, it gotta have Thousand Islands on it, like, or Italian dressing, like, for this out of the bus, like, or
more than
France is good too, but
36%
blue
of
cheese. You gotta go, my nigga. Like, blue cheese is the worst.
Americans say they often don't bother to add veggies to any of their meals, ever. So when Thanksgiving
Nah, them niggas big.
rolls
like,
around, the number of
no
people
veggies
lining up to
crazy.
eat raw veggies is pretty low. Keeping with the topic, by far the most unpopular way a raw vegetable can show up during a holiday meal is in the big, bulky plastic tray. You know the one. The one with the weak selection of carrots,
But this veggies is kind of mid. Like, come on, like, like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots. Like carrots may be good, but broccoli, like who's eating raw broccoli, my nigga? That shit is trash. Like, come on. What is it? Celery? Like, celery is good.
Broccoli and celery.
But spice it up with some maybe grapes, tomatoes, like.
And who can forget that teeny tiny ranch dressing in the center? While it may be an easy choice if you're asked to bring something last minute, don't. The prepackaged raw vegetable tray really tanks. Time and again, the tray has dinner guests turning up their noses. Between the boring selection and predictable packaging, it's no wonder people find themselves skipping over the veggies in favor of just about everything else. The good news? There always seems to be lots left over. Giblet gravy. While turkey is one of
what is giblet?
The more widely
enjoyed niggas call it giblet gravy. Like,
meals from the poultry family, it
gravy,
can be argued that without the correct accompaniments, it can be a little bit dry and dull. But when it comes to jazzing it up, gravy is one of the more popular condiments. Standard gravy is a simple concept. Splash the
look good, like,
more popular condiments. Standard gravy is a simple concept.
Is that fries? Niggas putting gravy on fries? Like,
splash the bird
like
juice in with some flour, maybe some salt and pepper, and there you go. But as with anything in the culinary world, it just wouldn't be right. And there you go. But as with anything in the culinary world, it just...
Nigga, what is this? This is a... Yo. Is that a dick, nigga? Like, what is that?
It wouldn't be right if someone didn't want to change the formula into something that no one really wanted. Enter giblet gravy.
I throw that out the window. Like, this is shit, my nigga. Like, this is sewage water. Like, come on, dog. Like,
giblets are categorized as the neck, gizzard, heart, and liver of a turkey. They usually are removed and then held together with netting before being placed with the bird again. To put it bluntly, they're often stuffed where the sun doesn't shine. Remove the giblets from the bird, add some seasoning and the faithful scoop of flour, and you have something that is definitely different from the standard gravy. You wouldn't, for example, want to slather giblet gravy on French fries. There isn't much about the extension specific territory. Cauliflower. Since about 2019, there's been a push towards using cauliflower as an option in lieu of meat or bread. The reason being, it's a
yeah, they're doing that Beyond Meat shit. Like, just eat real meat, my nigga. Like, come on, dog.
Adaptability for people with certain food.
But vegan meat is close, but it's just not it, dog. Like,
food sensitivities.
Maybe one day.
So it isn't that surprising that variations of Thanksgiving items now include the humble cauliflower. Cauliflower, in this case, takes over for potatoes, particularly of the mashed variety. Its mild flavor isn't the worst, but its bland, soppy texture is pretty gross. Not only that, but frankly, it stinks. Cauliflower gets its stench from sulfur compounds that are released when they're heated and cooked. There isn't much you can do about the smell either. Between the dull appearance, boring color, and general smelliness, ham or turkey.
Right. It's ham. Niggas eat ham? Like, yo, niggas rich? Like, ham? Like, I thought it was just
officially
Christmas niggas eat ham.
Sealed the spot as one of the
like, they got so much meat, like
worst Thanksgiving dishes. Ham. The main course dilemma, ham or turkey? It's a landslide victory for the turkey. With an estimated 280 million turkeys eaten every U.S. Thanksgiving, the big bird is the star of the meal, that's clear. It makes for great leftovers, it takes forever to make, so guests are waiting in anticipation for the big event. A turkey is the whole show.
Well, let me ask you guys, do you guys eat turkey? Like, what do you guys do? Like niggas are eating chicken now, but shit, turkey, it's all right, but it really depends how niggas cook it too. Like, at the same time, like, turkey's not that crazy. Like, there's definitely better meat, like chicken better, like steaks better, fish better. Like, come on, like, turkey like at the bottom of the list. Like,
be honest, no one gives a round of applause when the ham comes out. A survey done on behalf of the Honey Baked Ham Company wanted to know the most popular thing.
I'm surprised they didn't put turkey on here. Like,
Thanksgiving main course, and they found out the hard way. It's not ham. In fact, not a single solitary soul chose ham. So with that cleared up, a deeper dive can be done.
I don't know what they talking about.
on what has people so put off by it. For some, the answer lies in the dressing for the ham. Sometimes ham comes coated in a thick maple syrup. Sometimes there's a pineapple slice or two attached. Other times it's served alongside
Pineapple with ham is crazy.
its worst foods list mate, canned cranberry sauce.
Ham though, like that bust though.
Even in a standalone sense, ham
I mean pineapple on pizza.
is just not as popular. The reasons could date all the way back to the ham and cheese sandwich that was stuck in paper bag lunches and sent to school with kids across the country. It's considered by some to be an inferior sandwich meat. So if it is shunned by the average grade schooler, it isn't really a surprise that it makes the list of worst Thanksgiving foods either. Stuffing. Thanksgiving.
Bro, come on, stuffing it. Bro, niggas really hate on stuff. Stuffing is kind of crazy, dog. Stuffing bust. It really depends who's making the stuffing too. But like, let's just say like, you get breadcrumbs. Like, get it naturally. You don't get it from the store. Like the store shit is ass. Like you gotta make your own stuff. But at the same time, get the breadcrumbs, heat it up, warm it up, add the gravy. Like, ooh, that bust. Like,
Stuffing is diverse and can be prepared so many different ways. The one thing every stuffing has in common is stale-ish bread, as well as the obvious place where it gets stuffed. One of the first appearances of stuffing goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. Even back then, cookbooks contained recipes for stuffing that went with a myriad of different meats, like pigs, chickens, and even rabbits. Fast forward a bit to the Thanksgiving turkey. The flavors that appear in turkey stuffing are all over the map. Most contain herbs like rosemary and turkey.
Bro, don't tell me y'all ain't fucking this up. Like, come on. Like, if you see this shit, like
stuffing are all over the map. Most contain herbs like rosemary or thyme, but where the idea of stuffing goes off the rails seems to be the more random items added to the mix. Some stuffing includes raisins, nuts, organ meat, and spelt, a type of whole wheat. If all of this seems like too much trouble, there are brands that can be purchased. The ones with the spicy, crunchy, dehydrated bread pellets are used by over half of Americans at Thanksgiving. We aren't talking about that type here, though. Store-bought stuffing isn't technically stuffed anywhere and tends to be cooked next to the turkey, not inside it. Instant potato flakes. While you may not have any actual pilgrims invited to your Thanksgiving dinner, this
like really like at the same time like they all right.
Dish
like,
offends many dinner guests. Instant potatoes have a tried and true ick factor that is deserving of a spot on the worst Thanksgiving dinner food list. Not only are they unauthentic, the texture and the obvious lack of effort involved in their preparation makes them an unwelcome addition.
Facts, just cut, like, mix up real
most
potatoes
would
at that point. Like,
prefer not to sweat over a potato masher, making sure each person at the table has a proper helping of the starchy staple. Instant potato flakes are better left off the menu if you want to keep guests happy. The interest in instant potatoes is understandable. They save on a lot of physical labor and take less than a couple minutes.
Like, they don't need to put this on this list. Like mac and cheese, collard greens, jollof rice. Come on.
To make. On the other hand, further inspection of instant potatoes shows an alarming backstory. Instant potatoes came to fruition because the Incas would purposely freeze some of their crops, namely their sliced potatoes. The ice would then be scraped off, the potatoes would dry, and the whole process would repeat until they were dry enough to store. This process would allow potatoes to last far longer than any other storage method, so they could be kept to guard against famine. A thoughtful history lesson, yes. Besides that, the convenience of the dish did not transition well onto the dinner table of the average American wanting a more familiar, fluffy, and buttery version of the potato as a side dish. So even though it's a lot of work, stick to real spuds to make your mashed potatoes and stay far away from the instant potato flakes. Don't let this be the side dish that takes your Thanksgiving dinner down a notch. We've got more awesome videos just for you.
So video, but yeah, like be safe. But like I said, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and yeah, come on. And what's your react to next? Word.